Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly timeframes, and we use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So let's go right into the SPY daily chart. 36 million on the day, so it was a light volume day going into the holiday weekend. And again, we're talking about the shallow retrace. That's what we got. Now we're consolidating. This time it just did a little retrace and then went straight up. Let's watch for that. If you're bullish, you need to get above this trend line in the 212 or 227.12 area, and then possibly shoot for the 230, and then confirm, and then possibly higher prices. If this pattern fails, a little bit bullish, a slight bearish pattern here going sideways. Let's just keep an eye on it. As long as it stays above the moving averages, there's nothing wrong with it. Weekly chart, same thing. If you're bullish, you want to get above these areas of resistance and continue going up, and then confirm above this area as well. If this pattern keeps setting up in the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, then we could possibly continue up. I'd like to see a pattern here. This was okay. I mean, it went up and then kind of went sideways, slightly bullish here. We went to this trend line. Well, that trend line wasn't there, but we almost fell into the 50 MA, and then it popped right back up. We had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. We've been a little bit going up. So let's see what happens here. Again, no pattern. We did close it with inside this red bar, so nothing wrong on the weekly either. Weekly IWM chart, though, a little bit on the weaker side. We did close at the bottom of this red candle here, so you have to be aware of that. And this could be an inside bar bearish pattern developing. Again, we need weeks of consolidation, or do we continue up just like the SPY above this line and then go for 140, maybe 145, 150. The SPY too, who knows? Maybe we go another 10 points with the light volume and the Trump rally. At this point, anything's possible, guys. Daily chart of the Qs, fine, but a little bit of bullish consolidation above the MAs, or the IWM, bullish consolidation. Let's see if we can stay above the 20 MA. If you are bearish, you need to get below it, and then you could possibly see maybe come to gap fill around 130.90, and then see what pattern develops. Right now, no pattern other than a slight bullish above the MAs. I would expect more of a move up, but if that move fails, then we'll of course go down. Pretty simple. Pretty simple, guys. It's Saturday. Just running around with my kids up at my office, wrapping the rest of the presents, getting everything ready, going to load up the car, bring everything home for tonight so I don't have to do it later. So I thought I'd do a quick video for you guys. Again, weekly, not bad. Still in a bullish stance. We're above the MAs, but this moved down in slight, let's see what pattern develops, and we'll take it from there. Telling us really nothing other than a nice move up in the last couple weeks, from the Trump rally. And that's pretty much into resistance. Same thing with the Qs, though, too. You have an upper trend line here. It's hitting it, coming back. Slightly bullish here. You're above the MAs. But again, at all-time highs, these patterns sometimes fail, so you have to be aware of that. Let's see if we could pop above this trend line. If we can, then we're looking for confirmation. We could maybe shoot to 125. Even numbers, 122, 123, and so on, and we'll go from there. But right now, nothing wrong with the Qs. On the weekly, same thing. There's that trend line trying to get up to over that. If it does and confirms, then, I'm thinking 124, 125. If it doesn't, then we'll start coming down. But we've got a lot of support down in here. So the markets would have to totally sell it for this thing to continue lower, but wouldn't rule anything out. It happened last year. It could happen this year again. DIA, same thing. You have a little topping tail here on the weekly chart on the Dow, on the DIA. Nothing to write home about. You did have pretty good volume. You are at the all-time high, so you got to be aware of that. But I'm still thinking we could possibly push through the 20,000 area, maybe a little bit higher. So we'll play it, though, as if we close above it and then confirm, then these markets can possibly go higher. So that's how I'm playing that on the weekly. On the daily, nothing wrong. Consolidating above the moving averages. We kind of had the same pattern here. This was a little bit tighter, and then it just kind of floated up, and then I don't know what happened there. Just voila. Was that Trump? No, I don't even know what happened there. I think the banks or somebody fixed something, or China's doing better. It's all news driven now, guys. But again, bullish above the MAs, nothing wrong. Still needs to get above the $200 area and confirm. If not, then I'd expect some lower prices to come. Weekly, again, the topping tail. No great shakes. IYT. This is the one that's kind of talking to me a little bit. We did have a nice week and a half pullback. We are below the 20 MA. We are holding this bar here, this inside bar pattern right there. So as long as we're holding that, it should be okay. If that starts to break, then we'll probably come in and maybe start filling some gaps down here. One day at a time though, guys, nothing really wrong. Weekly chart on the IYT though, it did have a nice reversal. There's that line that I drew in there. So right now strong, as long as it's staying above the 163.14 area, 163 area, it should be okay. But this close was, I want to see a little more pattern on this on the weekly. I like the fact that it went down there. If we chop around, maybe we retrace one more time and then set up. But again, if we don't get above this all-time high, which was 171.16 in the next couple weeks or week or so, I'd expect lower price of this. And you want to keep an eye. If this one starts to lag, like it did here, it was lagging, it was everything was leading, then all of a sudden, voila, it's like magic, goes up for no reason, and then boom, other than the Trump rally. So, it was all about the Trump rally. And came back in, hit double top, pulled right back. So keep an eye on this. The IYT too, if those start leading the way down, then you'd expect everything else to turn over and go from there. So beware of that. USO, nothing's wrong with the USO. We're still above that trend line here on the daily. So just chopping around though, slight inside bar, still above the moving averages. So it's a 50-50 shot, could go either way. If it moves up, it needs to crack this the pivot here around 112, needs to get above this trend line here. If you're bearish, you need to get below these moving averages, and it can continue down possibly and start filling gaps. So right now, it's kind of a 50-50, a little bit stronger bullish stance above the MAs, above this trend line, but not much, guys. Volume was disappearing last week, so just the volume. We'll probably do this for the next week into the new year. Again, on the weekly, didn't really tell us too much other than you're above the MA still. Still need to get above this high pivot. But right now, holding strong, nothing wrong with oil. We are short, so I'm hoping for lower prices in the near future, cover it, and possibly go long again. We're short-term traders here, guys. Just looking for short-term gains, get in, get out. The shorter, the better. And then, in a position, the longer in a position, guys, the longer they have time to take your money. The institutions, the hedge funds, all those guys. So, but UUP here, daily chart, nothing wrong, bullish pattern. We had same thing, pullback, bounce, kind of like the markets. Will this go up? We do have 7 days of consolidation. Maybe into next week we get another 5 days, and then possibly in the new year we pop up. If it doesn't pop, then we'll probably drop. So right now, nothing wrong with the dollar though. Dollar goes up, oil and gold should go down. But again, there is a disconnect sometimes with that stuff, with the Federal Reserve, the central banks, and all the manipulation they're doing with, buying the bonds, basically doing whatever it takes to keep these markets up, guys. But the dollar's roaring right now, though, and that's bad. So bad for big business. So you want to keep an eye on this one. 26.83 is your area. Your next area resistance, 27.21, and then ultimately the 28.93. I'm still expecting at least 28. When it starts getting above there, if it does, then we'll start to look possibly for a short entry on the dollar too. We did have this one long. We took it off. Right now, we're just looking for an area. Let this thing keep going. If it keeps going up to here, it'll be the last. We'll probably go long oil, go long gold, or we're adding gold right now, guys. We'll talk about that chart in a second. But if this one continues up, gold should continue down, and we'll be adding more as it goes lower. But right now, UUP, nothing wrong. I would have loved to have seen more consolidation instead of this little pop here on the weekly, but that's what it gave us, and that's what we're going to have to work with. So nothing wrong with this one, so keep an eye on higher prices for that. The gold trade, so far so good. It came down. We started adding around 115, 112.50, 108, and right now it's holding strong. It could go lower. And if it does, you're probably looking at 105, 107, 101.49, and then double bottom here around $100. So right now, it had a great retrace, got everyone bullish. They're dropping it, so you might get some margin calls, something like this. That's what's exaggerating this move. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks down. So do we get another week or two down with the light volume? Possibly, but if you're not, long on gold, you could start adding right here. Maybe 105, and then ultimately around the 100 area. Don't load the boat. We're adding really slow here. It could go below 90 or $100. I don't know. When it gets there, we'll find out if it does. If not, I'm thinking 107. You know, right here you're going to have some resistance, big resistance, but this is the stuff where they get it right up to here, then they gap it over and they keep it going. So honestly, if it gets up into 120 right back up, I'll probably take half off and then I'll let it go up. And you know, I'm still thinking that if this thing really starts to roar, I think we go back to 130s. You know, but that's me. One day at a time. We'll see how this chart sets up. So, all right, guys, that's it for the holiday session. I just want to make a quick one. I'm not going to be on the mic later today or tomorrow. Maybe Monday a little bit. We do have it off. Markets are closed. Maybe do a live session, so watch out for that. I'll send out some stuff on StockTwits for a possible time. I'd love to do something in the morning. I'm just not quite sure what's going on with my schedule with my kids and my wife if she has something planned. So again, guys, happy holidays. Whatever you're celebrating, if it's Christmas, Hanukkah, or another holiday, have a great weekend with your family. Give them hugs, give them kisses, show everyone some happiness and a good time, guys. All right, thanks for everybody for watching my videos, subscribing to me, follow me on Twitter, StockTwits for all of my trades. Thanks again, everyone. God bless. See you on the charts.